So there's a video that's circulating all throughout social media and was even released by the local news there that showed the shootout in which FastCash CMoney had lost his life, man. Now you see here, all right, so next I want to talk about another story coming out of Memphis, man. So in Memphis, it's been wild, man, ever since forever. In hip hop in Memphis, there's been rappers passing away, losing their lives. Rappers on the major level and rappers on the independent level. And a rapper who was just on his rise by the name of FastCash CMoney looks like he lost his life recently, man. Now, this dude was connected, man, tapped in with a lot of people. He was connected to Ben the Don, who is a huge streamer right now. He's connected to Glorilla. He actually been seen in pictures with Lil Migo and a lot of people from the CMG camp. Dude was on his way up there, man, and he's a member of a group, man. Now, these cats are really making their way through Memphis and through the Memphis hip-hop scene. Now, as you know, the Memphis hip-hop scene is highly competitive. So we don't know what was going on in his backstory, but on the front side, or at least I should say in the public eye, it looked like he was doing all the things he needed to be doing in order to get noticed in this rap game. So, man, let's talk about this news story and what's going on with this rapper FastCash CMoney, man. Now, there was a news story that was dropped by the local news there in Memphis that kind of detailed in a report exactly what went down. So it said this. Now, it says, rising Memphis rapper FastCash CMoney dies after shooting. The Memphis music scene is mourning the loss of one of its own. Rising rapper FastCash CMoney was reportedly shot and killed in his hometown on August 9th, 2025. So just this weekend. The news sent shockwaves throughout the city and the hip-hop community at large. Known for his raw energy and emotionally charged lyrics, CMoney was gaining momentum in the industry with a string of singles that captured the essence of Memphis street life. Now, we know one thing about these Memphis cats. They are very good at incorporating that street life into these demonic, melodic type of beats, or on top, I should say, of these demonic, melodic type beats that they have. And that's been a thing since 3 6 Mafia, you know? They've got these real chanty type of, I don't know, interesting type of beat styles. Like, a lot of the beats are real dark. Sometimes you catch them upbeat, but it still has that same element. Memphis is an interesting scene in the hip hop category. You know what I mean? It's just, it's always had its own type of flair, style, accent, and everything, man. And it seems like this rapper FastCash CMoney was on his way up. You know what I mean? Before tragedy struck. Now, let's look at some more of the news that's coming out of Memphis in regards to what's going on with FastCash CMoney and him losing his life, man. All right, so locally there in Memphis, the news reported this. It said a man who was killed during a shootout over the weekend in a Fraser neighborhood was identified by family as Memphis rapper FastCash CMoney. He was part of a rap duo known as the FastCash Boys. So FastCash CMoney was one part of a duo called the FastCash Boys. And it looked like, man, they were really on their grind as far as like getting noticed in this rap game. They had the look down for one thing. They had the jewelry. It already looked like they had made it, to be honest, if you go and you look at his social media pages and things like that, man. So this leaves his group member without his partner in the rap game, and he's going to be out here trying to make it on his own. But hopefully, man, through the strength of their music and the industry, their connections, they'll still be able to persevere, and maybe he could pay back his family or whatever for time lost and whatever, you know, things that they get in the future. Somehow he can incorporate his homeboy into that, I should say, right? And next, the story goes on to say this. FastCash CMoney, a member of the FastCash Boys collective, emerged from Memphis with a gritty, authentic style that made listeners take notice. He wasn't just another name in a crowded field. He represented a movement, young, determined, and undeniably Southern. So basically, he had his own style. He had some good music that people locally were appreciating. And it was only a matter of time before he really blew up, man, before this tragic situation with him losing his life. So next, I want to talk about this, man. So there's a video that's circulating all throughout social media and was even released by the local news there that showed the shootout in which FastCash CMoney had lost his life, man. Now you see here, it says the Memphis PD said officers were called at around 12:20 a.m. Sunday to the area of McCully Drive and McCully Cove for a shooting. They arrived to find several homes shot up, police said. Now in this video, you're actually gonna see the trees getting shot up, the houses getting shot up, like everywhere on that block got shot up during this shooting. So man, let's check this out.
Breaking news now. Family confirming to Fox 13 News that Memphis rapper CMoney was killed in that shooting that you just saw there. This happened yesterday in a residential area in Frazier. Fox 13's Daniel Wilkerson joining us live from that neighborhood. Daniel, break it down for us. What happened here?
Now this is wild, man, because that was a lot of gunfire and a lot going on in that video, man. And you know, these Ring cameras are everywhere, so they can catch everything pretty much that happens on these blocks. But let's listen to the rest of the story.
Well, we understand, as you said, that rapper killed FastCash CMoney. This happened, Ernie, around 12:20, right after midnight, Sunday. So really, really early in the morning, late Friday into Saturday. Folks, I don't know that I have ever heard and seen this much gunfire at one location. Yeah, for those of you familiar.
Now, we've heard of rappers talk about light it up like it's the 4th of July, but they literally lit the block up like it was the 4th of July with this shooting. This is crazy, man. I don't know what kind of beef that FastCash CMoney had in them streets, but whatever it was real. And a part that they're going to point out with in a second, and I want you guys to check out, is somebody is actually holding on to that door right there, man. So let's check the rest of this out.
With the area, this is not too far from Georgian Hills Park. Innovation Church is not far from where I stand this morning. Keep in mind, this is a residential area. You can see in that video, it's hard to determine which direction these shots were coming from. There were so many. It appears you see someone standing outside that vehicle. Again, it's hard to tell whether that is the shooter or the victim. That car, it starts to bag up. It appears the passenger door is open while the...
This is wild, man. This is wild. Imagine coming home from the club or the bar or going to watch a game or something, and all this is going down. Now, Frazier is a tough part, you know what I'm saying, of Memphis. You know, famously known and made famous by Frazier Boy from 3 6 Mafia. But, man, this is wild. This is just on a regular block. They lit it up like this.
Car is backing up. It looks like the person who had been standing outside that vehicle is somehow able to hold on to it as it's backing back. As we understand it right now, the body was discovered at Meritavia and Georgian Drive. Meritavia and Georgian Drive. Now, we have been speaking with different people in the area. This is what a man told me. Keep in mind, the man you're about to hear from, folks, he is right at 75 years old.
All right, so this guy that's going to start talking right here is a guy who actually lives in that neighborhood on that block, and he's in his 70s. So, you know, that's a pretty wild way to wake up when you're in that age. You at that age, you know what I mean?
I had been walking past this way, I would have been shook. I would have got shot.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that's what.
So, man, you can see the bullet holes went in into his house and went into his wall. It was so much live gunfire going on the street. This is crazy, man.
That's what it's frightening to me right there. So that's where it came through at right there.
Yes, it does something.
All right, now this is what happened after the shooting took place. So officers continued to check the area and found a man had been shot to death about half a mile away near Martiravia Street and Georgian Avenue, according to police. A family member confirmed Monday morning that the man killed was Memphis rapper CMoney, whose real name was Courtney Smith. So it looks like after they surveyed the area is when they found FastCash CMoney's body, man. Sad situation here, bruh. Like, this is wild, man, because there could have been way more casualties in this situation. And the fact that an up-and-coming rapper, somebody with a lot of potential and somebody with a lot to gain or to live for in this world, at a young age just dies like this is crazy, man. But obviously he had some sort of wild beef going on in them streets. For them to light that block up like that, that's a message, man. This is borderline crazy, man. Like, because you see these shootings that happen in Memphis at that gas station. I know everybody's seen those videos, right? But, it sounds kind of crazy, but to see it on a block like that, and it's multiple guns and multiple cars, and how it literally lit the block up was wild, bruh. Now, with that being said, this didn't end with his family being reached and, the local hip hop community talking about it. There are also bigger stars like Glorilla and other people like that who actually talked about the situation too. So in this report, it says news of CMoney's death ripped quickly across social media. Memphis stars like Glorilla took to their platforms to share condolences and express heartbreak. While official details surrounding the shooting remain limited, the emotional reaction from local artists and fans underscores how deeply connected he was to the community. Memphis isn't new to losing young talent to gun violence, but every loss hits hard, especially when the artist was on the brink of something bigger. So a lot of people take into account the fact that he was on the verge of doing something big, man. And it always drives me back to that J. Cole song. Like, man, Lil Buddy was right there. He was right on the edge of doing it big. You can already tell by the upgrade in the jewelry and things in his pictures, the people he's around, who are on a higher level and really established in the hip hop game. So it's really about to happen for him, man. And then another person he was connected to who spoke about this was Ben the Don. So let's look at this video of Ben the Don, and he didn't really speak out, but he talked about the fact, or there was a video that was released while he was streaming, and he found out about FastCash CMoney losing his life.
They just said my nigga got killed. Niggas be asking all the time why I don't go back to Memphis that much. But when I do go back to Memphis, bro, I pop in, I pop back out. I don't be telling nobody I'm there, none of that, except.
You could tell from his expressions there that he's really feeling it. This is one of his homeboys, man, and he had just found out the news. He was chilling out with this young lady, and they was having dinner, and he just immediately left.
Anyways, it's gonna be one.
Now, this situation is going in the same cycle, in the same situation that we've seen played out so many times in this hip hop game. And I don't think there's any end to that in sight, man. Because if you live by the streets or you a street dude, you're gonna run into street situations. And sadly enough, FastCash CMoney, man, ended up losing his life. And I'd like to say RIP to him. I'd hate to say that, I know anything about the details involved in the beef that he was in. But, with that being said, it still seems like a loss of life, a loss of talent, and something we should all be trying to move away from. But, man, it ain't going to stop no time soon. Now, with that being said, man, what y'all think about this? Because this is crazy, man.